Hi Michael, Alistair from Middlesbrough North, welcome. How have the first few days been as Middlesbrough manager?
Very good. Really enjoyed it. Actually, it's everything I hoped for so far. Listen, I'm 2 or 3 days in, and it's been pretty hectic, and haven't really had time to take a deep breath. But that's the beauty of it, and that's what I'm really enjoying the challenge of. And everyone's just made me feel so welcoming at home. The staff have been amazing, and in and around the training ground, it's a really good vibe and feeling, and a good energy at the moment, and we need to carry that on and build on it. But it feels quite natural to be here. To be honest, feels like I've been here longer than 2 or 3 days, which is a good sign.
Yeah, and are you happy with everything that's in place at the minute? Are you looking to add to your coaching team, or is it all settled for you?
Listen, we're always looking to improve on every aspect of the team, of the squad, of the football club. We need to push. We need to keep pushing and being better and improving all the time. So that never stops.
Let's talk about your first game then. Preston, what do you make of them? What are the challenges there, and how have you been preparing for that?
Yeah, it's they're defensively they're very good. I know they had a bit of a different result last week, but in general terms, they're defensively really good. As a front three, dangerous. Energy, dangerous, good runs, clever, quick attacks from nothing that can catch you out. Press from the front well. So there's a lot of things for us to think about and to prepare for, and we've done that. We're confident. We spent a lot of this last 2 or 3 days, looking, as you would expect, about how we can be and how we can be better and what direction we're going in terms of what I believe in, and our principles in terms of what I like in my team, and so it's getting that balance, between knowing what to expect but actually believing in yourself as well, and going with what we've got.
I suppose it's difficult to make too many changes too quickly, or not.
That's the challenge, that's the balance between understanding where the players and kind of what they're used to doing, how they play, what they're good at, playing to their strengths as well as going in the direction that I'd like to go in. So that's the challenge of the position I'm in, and I understand that. I'm not expecting to be a whole different ball game for straight away. It's a work in progress, step by step, and I believe in the boys. There's a lot of quality there. It's a good squad. It's a good team. I'm looking forward to seeing them in action.
How are things in the squad, fitness-wise, injuries-wise? Any changes?
There's always the odd nickel here and there, but no, we're waiting on a couple of the boys to see how they come through. But all in all, we're all right. We're pretty strong, and we're looking forward to the game. And
how do you think you feel standing out there on the touchline first time? Obviously, those games in charge of Manchester United, but first game proper in charge as a manager.
Yeah, I'd be hugely proud. It'll be a big moment for me personally, but at the same point, I won't let it be too big. We're here to do business. We're here to win a football match, and I won't let that kind of emotion get the better of me for sure. But somewhere in the back of my mind, it'll be, be a nice moment to get used to, and have my family at the game. But it's really not about me. If we're totally honest, it's about the players and performing and winning the game and having that travelling support over 3,000 that we're taking over there, and that's what the game's all about.
All right, that's it. Thanks, Mike.
You touched on the defensive record of Preston there. They are unusual in that they've got the best record in the division so far, but one of the worst for goal scoring. What can you take from that heading into the game of the weekend?
Football's a funny game, from the season, like you say, how they've kind of been really tight and maybe not scored as many as they would have liked, or as others have. But then at the same point, they go playing a game last week where there's 6 goals. So that's football. We understand what they're good at, what their strengths are. That's part of the game of us trying to prepare to attack where we think the space is for us to attack, like they'd be looking at the same with us. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We know the challenges we face. We've spoke about it already. We've prepared for it. So we're just looking forward to the game now.
It's safe to say we're not where we want to be at the minute, in terms of in the league, but it is tight, top to bottom, really. What do you hope can happen? Where do you want to see yourselves going forward?
We want to win games first and foremost. I think this league's unique in many ways, that you can climb tables and drop down the table pretty sharpish, because there's so many games so soon, and just the nature of the league. I think momentum is huge. If you can get on a run and put a run together, then you can make ground pretty quickly, and certainly that's what we're looking to do. There's a real positive vibe around the place, within the squad, within the club, and we need to keep that going and bubbling and keeping that energy, and looking forward to the next game. And then the next game, it's a cluster of games over the next couple of weeks that we're looking to attack and pick up as many points as we can moving forward.
And final question, how important will the away following be for the game?
Yeah, I mean, taking over 3,000's, it's what football's all about, for the players to feel that support, was incredible. So, for the next 5 games are away from home, so we're going to need that support and to be loud and supporting the boys, and we appreciate them making the effort to be there. So it's up to us to give them something extra to shout about, and obviously to go on with a win that they can be proud of.
Great, thanks very much. Best of luck.
Michael, some managers, head coaches maybe take a step back and more of a viewing role, but training videos coming out of the club, it seems right in the thick of the action, hands-on approach. Is that fair to say? To a point. I enjoy the grass, I enjoy the coaching, I enjoy being around the players and trying to improve them, and plus it is obviously the first few days, so it's and we've got the game pretty fast, so it's trying to get messages, the balance of getting some messages, not too many, and not overcomplicating things. But yeah, I love being in around the boys on the grass. I think that's where I work best. Yeah, and obviously these last couple of days, your first chances to have a look at the squad on the pitch. Are you enthused and encouraged by what you've been seeing? Yeah,
massively. I think, confidence plays a big part in football. Certainly had it at times when you're playing, you feel like you're on top form, and other times it becomes a little bit harder. And it's just getting into that right feeling where you're really looking forward to playing, and you remember what it was like when you were playing well, and that feeling of when the confidence is up, when you try things and express yourself. And that's what I want to ask from the players, is to go in and express yourself, be the best you can be. No holding back. Don't worry about what can go wrong. It's about what you can do and make the difference. So we understand it's not a perfect game. We understand that mistakes is part of football, but it's about that joy, the fun, the excitement that you can create, and for the fans who are coming, that's the beauty of football, and I believe in that. Yeah,
and obviously it's been mentioned that the club isn't in the position that it wants to be in terms of the league table, but you mentioned there about the positive mood or atmosphere around the group. Have you sensed that in the days you've been here?
I've definitely sensed it. Yeah, I've definitely sensed it, and I can only speak from what I've seen over the last 2 or 3 days, and within the group, the squad's been terrific around the places. I've already said the feeling around the training ground and people that I've met locally, and there's a bit of excitement around it. It's up to us, now as staff and as players to win games. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is winning games, and doesn't always have to be pretty, doesn't always have to be the best way of winning games either. We understand that there's another side to the game, and there's a real hard work and team ethic, aggressive side that you need to be hard to play against. So we're well aware of that. I'm not coming here just to play nice kind of pretty football by any stretch. It's about doing what we need to do to win as well, and the boys are aware of that.
Yeah, just finally from me, obviously you've only been here a couple of days, so I don't expect you to have thought about too much about decisions for the future, but a young boy contracted to the club, Josh Coburn, one at Bristol Rovers, scored again last night. I guess at this stage, just really positive that a good young player contracted at the club is out on loan and doing well.
Yeah, and that is the ideal scenario of going on loan and getting great experience. It was a terrific finish from Josh last night. I was watching it, and you could see how much it meant to him, and the joy on his face, and that feeling of scoring goals. So yeah, I was chuffed to bits for him. I thought he done really well, and that is, as I said, that's the experience, and that's what the aim is: going on loan, playing games when it really matters, and the results, and there's things on the line, and being able to cope with that. So really pleased to see him doing well.
When you come in, Michael, it's obviously interesting with you being a first kind of managerial job, but managers even who have had lots of different jobs, when they come into a club, it's a kind of balance, isn't it, between looking at what the players are comfortable doing, what they have been doing, and maybe the style that best suits them, as opposed to if you had a completely blank sheet of paper, the style that in your head you kind of like to play. And some managers tend to go more one way and say, well, do you know what, this is what I want to do, I'm sticking to that regardless. Some say, well, I've got to be a bit more practical, because if that doesn't work for those players, it's pointless trying it. Where would you kind of put yourself along that continuum?
Probably just trying to get the balance right. I think there's not a right or wrong. I can see, there's all sorts of different ways of doing it and doing things. But I think for me, try and get a balance. I think using the first couple of days to try and put across to the boys what's important to me and the team and how we want to play. But at the same point, understanding of what they are as individuals, what their strength is, what they're used to as a team, and not trying to change too much overnight. So there's a balance there. I'm not getting carried away with thinking, we can do a certain way straight away, or we can do this straight away. It's getting the best out of the players, and hopefully we get the balance right.
But I guess it's also important that you do have ideas about ideally where you'd like to get your team to, and you're right, like you say, it's not going to be this weekend, it might not be this season, but presumably even at this stage of your managerial career, you've got thoughts about what a Michael Carrick team would look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think that comes a little bit just from how you see the game, right?
Yeah.
From my experience, you can sit down, watch a game of football with someone, and my eyes will naturally take to looking at a certain thing on the pitch, and yours might be something different. Someone's something. It's just kind of naturally what you see in a game of football, and so yeah. Listen, I like having the ball. I like controlling the game. I like feeling that you're in control in that way. But at the same point, it's not a pass at all costs and let's look pretty, but not really have anything behind it. It's about winning and scoring goals and having that excitement and creating the excitement and. So yeah, there's a balance. There's never a perfect way to play football, but it's finding that. And I more than anything, I just want the boys to express themselves. I want them to go out there and do what they're good at and make the most of it. Ultimately that's what it comes down to.
And I know this is again a kind of cliche question that all first managers get asked, but there'll be players who have had very good experiences under the former manager. There'll be players who didn't have particularly good experiences under the former manager, etc., etc. Clearly it's important you come in with a clean slate, but I guess already, even just 2 or 3 days in, you're picking up little things in training and whatever that you think, oh, okay, that's interesting, didn't realise that you'd be like that, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course, it's life, isn't it? You come into it, whatever industry, and you go in there and you might know someone from before, but until you work closely with them, you see something different. It's just the same. Sometimes it's a nice surprise and you're impressed. Other times it's a little bit, I expected a little bit more. That's just natural. So as I said before, your eye takes a natural way and looks for certain things and attracts in a different way. So that's the opinions and the beauty of football, that we all see something a little bit different.
Yeah. And I know, listening back to Tuesday, you were asked quite a lot about people you'd spoken to about moving into management and that kind of stuff. But what about the Championship in particular? Because clearly you're someone who loves football. I imagine you watch a whole host of Championship games, but that's probably different to actually managing in the nitty-gritty of it. Have you spoken to anyone kind of specifically about the Championship? People who've managed in the league or anything like that?
Specifically, probably not so much, but I think again it's just over time and having general conversations with people and people I know in and around football. I played in the Championship for a season, albeit quite a while ago now. So yeah, I kind of understand the challenges it brings, and it is unique in many ways. Like I spoke about before, in terms of how results can flip, and twist, and momentum, and all of a sudden a team beats someone, and you think, where's that come from? And but yeah, that's the league. That's what you got to deal with. And at the end of the day, it is still playing a game of football, and you're playing a lot of football, but it's another game to prepare for and concentrate on ourselves and try and improve as much as we can.
And what about when you were taking on the job? The conversations you had with Steve and Neil and people like that about you know, the general optimism and aims and ambitions that there still is around this club, because you know it's been a few years now with Boro in the Championship and they've knocked on the door of the playoffs, but you know, there's been frustrations along that way as well, and I think that, you know, the fan base wants to really get behind this, but also probably wants to know that that sense of ambition is still there, and presumably you wouldn't have come here if it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm sitting here, because that's what we believe in. That's what I got very strongly from Steve and Neil and speaking to Kieran, and exactly why I'm here. You know, I believe in what we're going to be trying to do, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be right now, here and now, in this week, but over time, and our intentions are right, and our drive certainly there, and you know, we want to be up the league. We want to be out of this league if we can, and into the next one above. But there's a lot of teams want to do the same thing, but it's a case of, yeah, we're here. We want to be better. The club certainly wants to improve, and over time, that's without doubt that's the aim. But definitely the drive and the desire to be better, and is certainly there from all of us.
And just a very last one, like, have you changed very basic things already to lay down what you want? So, for example, things like what the players will wear. You
have to want my secrets, alright?
No, but stuff like what the players wear when they turn up for an away game, what time you want them, do they eat together, do they eat in groups? You know, all managers have you got down to that level of like nitty-gritty?
There's certain things that obviously you decide on. There's certain things where, you know, you don't have to be so strict on, and you trust the players with. You know, it's not such a big deal for me, all that sort of things. Yeah, of course I want to make the right decision. I want to be organised. That's the main thing. I want to be organised and everyone's clear, whatever role in the club, that they know what's happening from our point of view. I think clarity and communication is vital. So that's something that I'm really conscious about, of doing them things right, and everyone knows the jobs and the roles and timings, and maybe what to wear, like you said.
Get your press officer in on time.
Make sure we turn up on time. But yeah, that for me, that's just a little bit of the respect and the within the group of doing things right and treating people right. So yeah, I'm sure things will be fine.